Good evening. My name is Dee Carter, and I want to welcome you to the upper room where the scene, the Last Supper, will take place. A lot of things happened at the Last Supper. The one that is most remembered would be when Jesus said, "This bread is my body given to you. Eat it in remembrance of me." And then he took the Messiah cup, and this cup reminds us of the blood of the sacrificial lamb. Drink it, for it represents the blood from my body. And this is a new covenant of faith and forgiveness of sins. Drink this in remembrance of me. That goes by a lot of names. We call that communion, Holy Communion, sacrament, Holy Sacrament. We call it the Eucharist. We call it the Last Supper. We call it the Lord's Supper. But a lot of other things happened during that meal. One, we have the foot washing of the disciples by Jesus. We have Peter and Jesus telling him that he will deny Jesus 3 times before the rooster crows. And the other part is that interchange with Judas, and I would like to talk about that just a second. Jesus tells the disciples, "I am sorry to say that one of you will betray me," and they're all going, "What? Who? I, Lord? No." And Peter says, "Who is it?" And Jesus said, "It is the one that I will give this piece of bread." And of course, it is Judas. And Judas said, "Not I, Lord." And Jesus says, "Quickly, go and do what you have to do." I spent a lot of time this week thinking about that. Did Jesus know? Was it in the prophecies about Judas? So I went back and I did some research, and I came up with Jeremiah's prophecy. Jeremiah was in exile in Babylon, and he made his way outside of Babylon back to Palestine with 50,000 people when the ruler changed there. And I would like to read to you from chapter 11. "And I said unto them, if you think good, give me my hire, and if not, forbear. So they weighed out my hire, 30 pieces of silver. And Jehovah said unto them, cast it unto the potters, this goodly price that I was prized at by then. And I took the 30 pieces of silver and cast them into the potter in the house of Jehovah." The first part of that is Judas haggling with the priest. And in Matthew it says, "What are you willing to give me? And I will deliver him unto you," fulfilling the first part of Zechariah. The second part is silver. Silver is the prophecy, not gold, not copper, but silver. 30 pieces of silver. You may ask, what is the significance of 30 pieces of silver? 30 pieces of silver was the amount that was given if a slave was gored by an oxen. Think of Jesus washing the feet, becoming a servant, a slave. The lowest person is one who would wash your feet. And that Jesus was gored at the crucifixion. At the end, Jesus returns to the chief priests, and he wants them to give the money back, the 30 pieces of silver. But they say, "You knew how it was going to end, Judas." So Judas took the silver and threw it down into the sanctuary, the sacred edifice of the holy place. And the priest took the money to purchase a potter's field to bury the poor, fulfilling the last part of that prophecy. The details of the prophecy are stunning, written 500 years prior to Jesus. This gives you a look at the divine origin of the scriptures. That finishes this part of the tour for me. Thank you for listening. Stay safe. God bless.